Welcome back, everyone, to Kuon. Last episode, we finished ransacking through the manor, and we opened the door to the small shrine. So there's been a lot of really cool chatter happening on the comments, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to acknowledge all of that. Dezo Penguin had an excellent comment on the last episode, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Dezo Penguin tells us a lot about what we might consider objective reality versus delusion, because the yin phase stops becoming unreliable narrator and more stuff that, in Dezo Penguin's words, couldn't be narrated. So it crosses a line into what could be delusion. And really interestingly, Dezo Penguin kind of contends that these chapters, yin and yang, aren't happening in real time, they're being recounted. And that makes sense when you have the whole game in front of you. So those of you who are watching this game for the first time won't quite get what I'm saying here because I'm trying not to spoil too hard. But what these chapters represent are these characters recounting what they experienced in the manor. To who, we'll meet them soon. So let's continue on. What we've got to do today is we've got to go down into the small shrine with Dochin. So let's start doing that. So I'd love to hear more about what you guys think about what Dezo Penguin puts out, and that the yin phase is more of an amalgamation of memories, considering the process of merging and what happens when you merge two people together, and how you've merged more than just two people together. There's a few within the mulberry child that the twins are creating out of Utsuki and Kureha and more. So that's super interesting, really enlightening, well said, thank you. So I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks about all that. Especially those of you who don't have a lot of knowledge in Kuon at all. So, over here we get a spell card, Hibari, which is some fiery arrows piercing an enemy. Pretty much our workhorse spell. And as you saw, Dochin bravely moved a pace ahead of us. So we'll follow him. So, we now know that Dochin, ever resourceful, is the source of the rope we noticed at the beginning of the yin phase. So what do you say, Dochin? You wanna come?
ここは任せろ。
Okay, Dochin. Sure. So we're back here in the small shrine. Right here we'll find a map for the place. As you recall, the chanting happening right now is the Heart Sutra, I believe. Go back to DS3, you arms. Again, I really admire these camera angles. So right after the bat, we get attacked by this rude boy. A giant cocoon hangs from the ceiling. So it hasn't gotten too heavy yet that it blocks the way. And that happens in yin phase. Let's go back and check the doors. Over here, the door is sealed in silk, preventing it from opening. It shows just how defiled this place is, even though the priest is gallantly attempting to keep it as pure as possible, but he's only one guy. In this room, let's see what we find. We find Miyoshimaru's note. Miyoshimaru's servant boy, writings on a leaf. I saw her. I saw it. I watched Lady Fujiwara eat her own little boy. Well, I guess that flies in the face of some things. Or it gives us a confirmation as to what's going on with Lady Fujiwara. As you might recall, she brought as many of the sick within the complex here in a last-ditch effort to beseech Yakushi for a cure. It shows a bit of how devout Lady Fujiwara was, or is. We don't know quite yet. But we find our first batch of Kagutsu Onna. And a vessel. So let's keep going. In this room, more silk. That probably intentionally looks like a spider's web, considering FromSoft's trope with spiders. But there's some chests. Something is lying there. Spell card Hien. Another batch of Hien cards. And in this chest we find something really important. A stack of old books here. Lady Fujiwara's diary. Diary by Lady Fujiwara. It mentions an illness. April 5th. I have decided to take the other sick people with me to the temple. I dare not see Miyoshimaru or Ayako. I am no longer human. I cannot allow my children to witness their mother's flesh rotting. April 6th. Fortunately, the priest was kind enough to take us in. I ordered Miyoshimaru, the servant boy, to seal the front gate. This way, the disease shouldn't spread any further. April 9th. Today I felt faint. Suddenly, I was inside a wicker chest. There were no silkworms in the chest, only a centipede. April 10th. My neck is throbbing with pain. The muscles are stiff and swollen. Does this mean that the disease is getting worse? April 11th. I asked the priest for a room in the temple, which he provided. If I stay here, the disease shouldn't get any worse. So a few clues that will make sense in retrospect. But one thing there is when I realized that there's some localization confusion as to who exactly Miyoshimaru is. In this chest, there is nothing useful. And over here, there is a save point, which we don't need right now, but it will be nice to know it's there. Let's keep going. So this door is sealed with Saturn. We can't go that way. If we come all the way down here, we find there's nothing here either. Just Buddhist images stand solemnly, illuminated by the candlelight. So, we've completed this arm. And because we have, we see trouble. So, what do we do when we see trouble? We follow it, obviously. And we see that the twins have done us a favor and opened up the door. The silk sealing the door has been removed. The door has been opened. This allows us another direction. We'll get to that door soon, but I really like that effect it has with the bugs. First of all, there's this door that's sealed with earth that we're able to easily pass through. And our prize is a gaki. Our real prize is all this. An inspection report, Volume 3, very important. Report on the inspection of Fujiwara's manor. April 2nd. Gaki have taken over the manor. Now that Lord Fujiwara is dead, I must protect his wife and children. Some of the surviving servants claim to have seen their lord, but I think their devotion to him caused them to hallucinate. There is pure carnage in one of the rooms in the main building. April 4th, Lady Fujiwara suggested that I abandon the manor and go to the temple. She seems to think that the gaki won't be able to enter a Buddhist temple. She believes that the temple, built long before the manor was, has miraculous powers. She underestimates the gaki. Perhaps it makes more sense to go there seeking death than to stay here waiting for it. April 5th. While fighting off a gaki on the way to the temple, I lost sight of Lady Fujiwara. I hope she arrived safely there. Little did he know that she was already infected. Or cursed. A sutra covers the walls. Some of the writing is illegible. Right next to that, we find the second of Lady Fujiwara's diaries. April 14th. Many days have passed since I vowed to avoid other humans. When I catch a glimpse of soft flesh, I am overwhelmed by the desire to eat it. I cannot control this hunger. My body is no longer my own. April 15th. Alone in my room every day with no one to talk to but the cat. I'm so lonely. April 17th. Sometimes I hear a song. When I hear it, my body aches, longing to chew flesh and drink blood. But I must never go near Miyoshimaru or Ayako. A mother must never kill her own children. April 18th. Stroking the cat, I have a strange feeling. The cat is so soft. Human skin must be softer, and the children's skin is surely even softer. April 19th. I heard that song again and lost consciousness. When I awakened, I was in a wicker chest. The cat lay next to me, dead. Strangely enough, I'm no longer lonely. For some reason, I feel calm and content. There's something inside me. April 22nd. Something is moving around. Whatever it is extremely annoying. I must be vigilant. April 23rd. Miyoshimaru came to visit me. Ah, my sweet child. His flesh so very young and tender. He must have come because he was worried about his starving mother. And maybe it wasn't localization confusion. Maybe the way... If we take the theory Deso Penguin puts forth, maybe the way Utsuki remembers it is that Miyoshimaru was the servant. Or maybe I'm misremembering things, which would be apropos for the game itself, actually. And right next to it, we find some more Sen and Seika, which will come in handy this session. And a disorderly pile of boxes. And trouble keeps going. So unlike in Yin, where we find him in an advanced stage of disease, he is still praying here. And he's not with his back against the latticework, unlike in Yin phase where he gets killed that way. Let's see if Sakuya notices the biwa. She does. And so, since we've done that, let's go look around some more. Trouble is just one step ahead of us, singing a song. So if we follow them, we find that the door that was previously sealed with a Saturn seal is now open. So now we're back in the main temple. Nothing on this side. And when you go to grab that, we have a ghost. One of those proto-item ganks. And it's all for some sutegumo. And so, because the elder priest wouldn't give us a medicine jar like he does in Yin phase, well, he doesn't really give us the medicine jar, we kind of just take it. The twins open the way for us. So let me change my spells. Here we don't have a seal against the wall. There's nothing on this side. Going over the bridge, we find what might be left of the Onyoji who was Abe no Seime's disciple. The corpse here appears to have been an astrologer. And there's a yellow cloth scrap. Writing in blood on a yellow scrap of cloth. Notice it looks very similar to the cloth that Doman's disciples all wear. This is the feeding ground. You too were tricked by the twins. Lady Fujiwara will be here soon. She is no longer human. Go back if you value your life. So Lady Fujiwara, it implies, is now using this temple as her own feeding ground. But right next to the astrologer, we find our power-up. Sapphire fan. Defensive fan used by the god of north and winter. So let's throw that on. I've tried to look up what the god of north might have been to imply that, and I couldn't find anything, so it would be really helpful if somebody had some insight as to what god they might be referring to. Over here, we find another Saturn door. And since there's no place else to go, let's heed the advice of that yellow scrap of cloth and go back. And we have these guys. And these guys have a... They hit really hard. They are not an enemy to be trifled with, as you can see how many Hibari cards it took to kill them. Let's center ourselves, though, because, as also implied by that yellow cloth, we will be having tea with Lady Fujiwara very, very soon. And that, my friends, would be Lady Fujiwara. If you haven't, go check out her concept art on the Kuon Wikia. The Kuon Wikia has some really great concept art for her, and her FMVs don't really show her off too well because it's all really blurry all the time. Welcome to see what she's done with Dochin. She should be almost dead, but I don't want to use too much more of my Sen and Seika. So that is Lady Fujiwara. And Dochin's body lies here, barely recognizable. Could Lady Fujiwara's change have anything to do with the chest? And so we can see a little bit from this camera angle that Lady Fujiwara's neck has become that centipede she merged with earlier. From her diaries, we know that. And also from her diaries, we can also know that her neck was bothering her because the empathy, put that in quotes, the empathy you feel when you merge with different bodies makes itself manifest there. So her neck is, you can see it from this camera angle even better. Let me see if I can't get that one back. Her neck is a centipede. She's got skeletal arms, I guess. And you can see she's definitely not human anymore. Soon as you enter that chest and you merge with somebody, you're definitely not human anymore. So let's put Senin Seika away now. Put Hibari back. I wonder if the vermin in Bloodborne is kind of a reference to Lady Fujiwara. Let's go see the sorry state of our friend. There's something in the chest. He's got a Saturn cloth and one more book. I don't think there's any point in investigating the manor any further. Besides, I'm sick of this place. I heard that if you take the mountain path that goes by the west gate, you'll arrive at the temple. If I go there, I might be able to get some new information. The door that leads to the west gate locked by Seal Saturn. There must be some way. Maybe he found it. But since we have a Seal Saturn, there is a place we can use that right now. So let's take a detour. Oh wait, I have to reload the area first. Almost forgot. Yes, so if you reload this area, the path should be open again, because the path closes up as a sort of fog wall kind of thing. We don't have the map for this place. So here's that door we couldn't open in the last phase, but we can right now. There's only a single particular reason why you would want to do this. And this would be the place where you end Yin phase. But over here, we'll find a new spell. Karyu. Summer in its rawest form, devouring all. Very, very powerful spell. And we're blocked off by a Jupiter seal. So that's the reason why you would come down here. It'd be really, really handy for what's coming up. What's coming up is extremely difficult. Probably the most difficult section of the game for Sakuya. So let's get out of here and discuss where we're gonna go next. Dochin, because he's helpful even in the end, gave us a hint as to where we need to go. We need to hit up the west gate. Now, West Gate is pretty much on the other side of the manor. So that's kind of a very long run back. So I will meet you guys there and cut all of that out. See you there. Alright, welcome back. Let's take quick stock. Dochin is dead. Dokai, we know, dies in the Yin phase, though we don't know how he dies in the Yang phase. which leaves one other of our cadre, which is Doryo. When we last left him, he was walking around with Utsuki looking for Kureha. So through this door, we'll catch up with them. Though it kind of looks like it, this is still more or less part of the complex, although we are out of the manor itself. As you can tell, there's a lot of loot here, kind of a boss fountain, as they say. There's a couple of heals, a few vessels, all next to Jizo.
Sakuya-sama.
ちょうど良いところへ来たものだな。この山を登り、神社へ行こうとしておったところだ。
姉様です。
クレハと申します。この度はご迷惑を。
いや、大したことは。それより同僚様。
確かに参道を覆う妖気は強い。さりとて他に道もなかろう。
門の両脇はしめ縄で封ずられておりますし、ここは昔からそう。私たちはここより外へ出たことがございません。ただ社とこのお屋敷へと続く参道だけ。
うつき、神社へ行けば何か手立てが見つかるはず。そうしたら行きましょう。外へね。
父上は良いのか？まだいろいろと調べ物があるそうで。わかりました。共に参りましょう。
私は先を進み露払いをする。そなたは二人の後ろを頼むぞ。
And there we meet back up with Kureha, Utsuki, and Doryo. Funnily enough, Kureha looks at Doryo as though either she's sizing him up as a snack or she's smitten with him. Could be a little of column A, a little bit of column B. And the theme that the two girls have been cloistered for so long that they've never really seen the outside world plays into the whole silkworm themes of Kuon, which interplays with how Kureha and Utsuki look at their would-be saviors, and Kureha especially looking at Doryo. And the one thing that always kind of struck me as weird is how they can't undo the sacred ropes. Which I think someone would brush off as just the knots are really that good. I have to ask, what if they aren't that good and they just couldn't undo those knots? So, let's take that advice that Doryo gives us. This next stretch is very difficult, so this is a really good place for me to end today's video. So thank you guys very much for joining me, and let's cleanse ourselves of sin. Let's head up the mountain path, because it's the only way to go. Next time on Kuon.